Hey guys, Michael here. Today I'm with my wife Laura and we are going to talk about acrylics. Now I've made acrylics in the past. I've made some black acrylic earrings using my M1. However, once we got the P2, the world has opened up when it comes to working with acrylics. And Laura here has sort of taken over the garage here. She has realized that, wow, we can cut a lot of cool stuff, all these beautiful colors and stuff, and she's taken over the P2.
So it's a lot of fun. I was a little intimidated at first to work with the machines just because I didn't want to mess anything up, didn't want to catch the house on fire, but I do have an amazing teacher. So I finally came out here and gave it a shot, and I was hooked like the very next day. That's all I wanted to do, was just come out here and make stuff. It is so fun, it's so easy. And you have so many choices. There are all kinds of acrylic colors, styles, from something glittery, something fun like this, solid glitter, this pretty textured one. They have mirrored ones. And you can make literally anything. You can make earrings, which is one of the things I had a lot of fun making. I'm wearing some now. And those are some I've made a ton for Valentine's Day, for the rodeo. I'll be making all the holidays. Keychains. This has been really fun, just easy. I mean, it looks like it would not be as easy, but this just took me a few minutes to make, and I think they're super cute. Here's another one, like a solid color one. So yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just all up to your imagination. You can make all kinds of fun things here. So today we're gonna make a few toppers to show you guys how easy and fun it is.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a couple of different, or make 3 different toppers for you. And what I mean by topper is, all the rave right now are Stanley tumblers, and everybody wants a topper for it. And all a topper is just something that it's like an ornament for your Stanley. It looks like this, and you can do all different kinds. You can customize it. You can add names, you can add shapes, whatever. But you just literally slide it on your Stanley, and it looks like that. But we are going to hop into XCS, and we're going to design 3 different toppers, make them, and share with you the project or the process it takes. We're going to share with you a couple of methods to stick the name to another piece of acrylic. And then also we're going to show off a couple of different shapes that you can add to it, and just add some layers of acrylic. A lot of, since there's so many options of acrylic, you can add all these different colors and stuff. So she's the expert behind that. But I'm colorblind, and I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what color goes with what, and you don't want me picking out your color scheme. So without further ado, let's hop on over to XCS and start designing our very first Stanley topper, and I'll let you pick out the colors.
Okay, sounds good. So for our first topper, we are going to make a sea turtle design, and this is going to be the base plate. For the actual sea turtle, we're going to use this pretty glitter color that's going to go right on top of it there. Okay, so we are in XCS right now. The first thing we're going to do is pull our image. We are making a sea turtle topper, and then our 40-ounce plate. So for this one, the first thing I'm going to do is copy my turtle, and then I'm going to take this one here and center it where I want it to be on the cup. So I'm doing this because I'm going to actually unite these 2 images here, which is basically combine them to a solid piece. That way, when I put the different colored acrylic on top, it kind of gives it a sturdier place to stick on. Now, as you can see here, there's a couple of pieces that I'm not going to need. So what you do is you come over here to insert, circle, and circle the piece that you want to delete. You're going to come up here to combine and unite, and it's going to make that little piece disappear. Do it again for the bottom piece, just so that this is one solid plate. There we go. So since we're doing 2 different colors, I'm going to do the plate first. I'm going to take the top design, and I'm going to click ignore, and you'll still be able to see it here, but the machine is not going to see it, so it's not going to cut it out. And then I'm going to come back to the base plate. You want to put it on output. Make sure you select cut, and we use 60% power, and depending on how thick the acrylic is, will determine your speed. We're going to go with 7. That seems to be pretty universal, and that is ready to go. Now we just have to get our acrylic in the machine set up.
Okay, so now we're ready to put the acrylic inside the P2. When you purchase acrylic, it's going to have a protective film, whether it be a paperback like what you see right here. This is a paper, and this one has a clear film. So what you need to think about is, do I want to peel this off or not? My personal rule of thumb is, if I'm going to do some fine cutting, like a small name, I'm going to peel it off. And I'm not going to peel off the entire sheet. I'm going to peel off a section of it and kind of tear it away just to expose just the part I want to cut on. If I'm doing a larger piece, I'm just going to leave the plastic on here, or the paper on there. So I'm going to put the acrylic in here. I have on the honeycomb. But what I don't want to do is actually put the acrylic directly on top of the honeycomb. What I have found as the laser is hitting through the acrylic and hitting the honeycomb, it'll actually bounce back and reflect and actually discolor the acrylic on the base. So what I ended up doing was taking some scrap pieces of 3mm basswood, and I just had those scattered around. And I'm going to put the acrylic on top of that. That will give me an air gap between the acrylic and the honeycomb. I have my acrylic inside the P2. What I need to do is refresh. I'm going to come up here, click refresh. Now, before I do really anything as far as aligning this object onto the acrylic, I need to set the height, or the thickness of this material. Another thing that I found with working with acrylic was, if you want to use the auto measure, whether it be the aimed measure for a small spot or the auto measure using the laser in the center of the P2, it is inaccurate when it comes to certain color acrylics. A trick for that is, take a piece of paper, lay it on top of your acrylic, and auto measure on top of the paper, then remove the paper and you can actually cut out your material. I just inserted a piece of paper. Let me get the thickness of this acrylic. I'm just going to do the aim measure right there in the middle. There's my thickness. As you can see, the screen actually adjusted. I want to do the auto measure first before I use my capture close view, because if you do the capture close view first, then auto measure, it'll actually throw off your close view camera. So you want to make sure you auto measure before doing this.
Okay, now that you have a close-up look at your acrylic, I'm going to take my design. I like to zoom in and try to utilize as much of the acrylic as possible. I'd like to not have any wasted space if I can avoid it. One of the neat things with this software is, as you can tell, this color is a little hard to see on this background. So especially if maybe I wanted to make a red one or something similar to that, you can come down here and select your different layers and change the colors. So for this, I'm going to select a bright blue. For me personally, I can see that a little better, just to make sure everything's lined up correctly. And then I'm going to make sure we have the correct thickness. I'm going to select the object, make sure that it is uncut, 60% power. Like I said, we use 7 for the speed. All right, everything looks in order. We're going to hit process, then start here. All right, then you come to your machine and hit start. I always like to peek in, make sure everything is working. All right, it cut perfectly. Here is the base plate. Okay, now we're going to work on the sea turtle part. All right, and we have our acrylic in there. I'm going to go ahead and ignore this image now since we're done with it. Hit refresh. And I'm going to go ahead and do the close view over here in the corner, since that's where I'm going to make the sea turtle. Select your image, make sure you put output just like you did the other, cut, get your settings. Alright, that looks good. Double check everything. Alright, process. Start here. So now that our pieces are all cut out, we're going to use a weeding tool to remove the protective film that's on the acrylic. All right, so try not to scratch the acrylic. Just peel that off. There we go. Now we're going to attach it.
When it comes to attaching acrylic to acrylic, you have a few options. Acrylic is non-porous, and so you have to use glue that's specifically made for acrylic or something that actually kind of works with acrylic. What we do here in our shop is we use a couple of different methods. We use either E6000 craft glue, or we use a double-sided tape.
All right, we're just going to use a tiny bit because we don't want it to squeeze out. This stuff is very sticky. And then we're just going to line it up. All right, so we're going to set this aside to dry and we're going to work on our next topper.
So we're going to make another topper. We're going to insert our 40-ounce topper base, and I'm going to put the word Michael on here. So we'll go to text and type the word Michael. I'm going to use the font that I like to work with. And there's the word Michael. And try to get the most out of the size that you want to cut. It makes it easier to cut out the small pieces for the acrylic. That way the pieces fall and you don't have to have too much trouble cutting out this. I have Michael sized the way I want it. Let me move it out of the way. And if I zoom in on Michael, as you can see, I have these lines inside here. I need to make this one solid piece. You can select the object, select weld, and it will become one piece. Once you do that, you can no longer edit it as text, so make sure you are set and you have it spelled correctly. I'm done with Michael. However, this dot is going to get lost and fall inside the machine. What I'm going to do is actually combine this dot with this stick of the letter I. I'm going to get rid of this dot. I'm going to insert a circle, put it on top, select the circle and the name using the shift key, or you can drag and select them both. Combine and subtract to get rid of the original dot. Now I'm going to insert another circle, and I'm going to move it using my arrow keys. With them overlapping, I'm going to select them both, combine and unite. Now my dot won't get lost on the word Michael, and it will cut out as one solid piece. First thing I'm going to do is cut out the base plate. So let's select Michael, set it to ignore, select the base, again set the parameters based on what you use and what works with you. Okay, we've got the back all finished up. Peel off that little bit of paper that's left, and you can see that's a nice clean piece. The next thing I'm going to do is actually cut out my name, but before I do that, I want to attach the name to this back piece with double-sided tape. Now you can't just put tape down on here and stick the name on here, because you'll have exposed tape and it will catch dust and everything, so you want the tape just to be on the letters. A way to do that is I'm going to work on the back side of this piece of black, and I'm going to take my double-sided tape, peel a piece off and stick it down on there. Then I'm going to flip my name in reverse so that I'm cutting from the back side, and I can take the paper backing off of this tape and stick it onto my backer. Alright, so I want this side to be the back side, so I'm going to take a small piece of tape and I'm going to go ahead and cut it with a pair of scissors. Stick this down just like this, make sure it's nice and flat. I'm going to put this inside the P2 with the tape facing up. Okay, that's all finished up, and as you can see, the name is still in there, and I'm going to have to poke it out. Okay, so I have the word Michael here, and I have the sticker on the back here. Now I'm going to attach this to the back. I'm going to use my weeding tool and peel off some of the sticker. Okay, I have the sticker exposed on the back, word on the front, and now I can line this up. Carefully, you get one shot at this. Push it down to make sure it's firmly in place. And now I have a customized topper for a Stanley topper.
Okay, and for our last topper, we're going to do something a little different. Instead of doing two separate acrylics, we're just going to engrave in one piece of acrylic for the plate. All right, there you have it. Nice and engraved on there. You could do a name if you wanted to. It's just another fun little way to make your toppers personalized.
All right, so that's it. We made 3 different toppers, 3 totally different styles. One, she adjusted the base plate to match the design on the front of it, and we used glue to glue that one together. We used also a customized topper and used tape to put the name on there, and then we made a engraved one. So acrylics, it's a lot of fun, right?
It is. It can be addicting. I've ordered so much acrylic.
She has yeah, she's ordered a lot of acrylic. xTool is constantly expanding their acrylic line that you have that you can choose from there. And not only at xTool, but there's other sources out there. There's Houston Acrylic, there's
Smoky Hill. I recently found them on Facebook, and I've ordered several pieces from them that are really cute as well.
Yeah, there's some print acrylic that's like a clear with a print on the back. There's some with, like this one here, with the flakes of glitter. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Flakes of glitter in there, so it's clear acrylic or a tinted acrylic with the glitter in there. There's all kinds of acrylics you can pick from, and the P2 can cut all of it.
Yeah, and don't be intimidated by it. Like I said, I was really hesitant to try out the machine. I thought, I wouldn't be able to do it, and the software makes it so easy to use. You can also look up some of Michael's videos. He'll walk you through all of it. I have. And then just have fun with it. You will find that you constantly have all these ideas, and you will be out in the garage kind of taking over. So give it a shot for sure. Yeah,
I get home from work in the evening, and she's still out here,
yeah,
cutting stuff. So anyway, that's all I want to share with you guys. Laura, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for teaching me how to use it.
And hopefully you guys can follow along. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Give this video a thumbs up, and we're going to have some more combined videos here in the future. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.